The new Lloydminster Nissan is moving. We'll be temporarily relocating to the Big Blue Building on Highway 16 West, formerly known as Border City RV. And before we have to tediously move every single vehicle on the lot, we'd rather sell it. You can save today on our incredible Nissan lineup of cars, trucks, and SUVs. Move a new or pre-owned vehicle to your driveway with deep discounts. The moving out sale is on now at the new Lloydminster Nissan. The new Lloydminster Nissan. We won't sell you a car, we'll help you buy one.
Local people. Local news and events. Local sports. Local matters. For all things Lloydminster area, this is Live with Kurt Price.
Hey, welcome to the Lloydminster Exhibition. I'm Kurt Price, and it is great to have you join us here. I'm with the new Lloydminster Nissan, of course, and back at the new Lloydminster Nissan, we are now into our final week of the moving sale because as of Friday, we are moving. We'll be open Friday morning, and we'll be constantly moving vehicles out to the Big Blue Building on Highway 16 West, formerly known as Border City RV. So if you're looking for a car, you're looking for a truck or an SUV, now's the time to come see us. We'd certainly rather sell that vehicle to you than have to drive out there, have somebody drive us all back and drive more vehicles out there. You're going to save us some work. So in doing that, we're going to save you some dollars. Come see us today at the new Lloydminster Nissan. You know where we're located. We're moving out from Auto Row, though, temporarily out to the Big Blue Building on Highway 16 West, where every day will be an indoor sale. So not only great savings right now at the new Lloydminster Nissan, but also right now, do not pay for 6 months OAC. Kim Crockett is here with the Bea Fisher Foundation. This is the third year of their New Year's Eve Gala, so we're going to talk about this year's theme and how you can get tickets. I was there last year, and it was an absolute blast. I think if I'm in town this year, that's what we'd like to do again. It was a great event. So we're going to get all the details here in just a moment. BioClean Disaster Services is committed to you and your family when you suffer wind damage, fire damage, or flood damage. If you're looking at asbestos contamination, drug cleanup, BioClean Disaster Services knows how to help with the anxiety and the tension and the stress that comes along. And one way to do that is not cause any more of that stress. The disruption is enough for anybody. And they put your family first. Now, they're committed to your property, they're committed to your belongings, but they are really committed to getting you and your family back to where you were before the disaster. And like you say, they're local. They serve Lloydminster, Wainwright, Bonnyville, Cold Lake, and surrounding area. Proud to be local, and they should be. BioClean Disaster Services, their focus is truly taking care of you and your family. You do a great job taking care of this community too. Call BioClean Disaster Services 1-833-246-8326. Well, let's start with a couple of clubs, shall we? The Kinsman Club have their Christmas tree lot back as of Friday, 6 p.m. Once again this year, the lot will be located at the Aztec Safety parking lot. You purchase your tree there, the dollars stay in the community. The Kinsmen do fantastic things in the community. They're always doing something locally, and we'll have more on that in just a moment. The Lloydminster Kiwanis Club is the other club that are decorating their park at 56 B Street again this year, and that's what they call the Festival of Lights. It will launch on Sunday at 4:45. They'll have some speeches, some hot chocolate, and then light up the park like they do each year, and each year it seems to get bigger. We're going to find out. Vera Gallant is going to join us from the Kiwanis Club tomorrow, and we'll talk more about that. Now, speaking of Christmas lights, next Friday, Jerry Frank and his family invite you to the launch of their Lights and Sounds Christmas house. You know, they've started putting Christmas lights up, and this must be the warmest year they've had for putting up Christmas lights. I'm sure they're enjoying the nice weather. 5704 30th Street, and donations are accepted for multiple charities this year, again, including Big Brothers and Big Sisters. You're asked if you're heading out for the big launch party to get there by 6:45 to get good seating and some treats as well. Everything will start at 7 o'clock. Here Comes Santa is December 2nd in downtown Lloydminster. Once again, the Firefighters Association, the Lloydminster Firefighters, will work together with Synergy Credit Union for a terrific outdoor wiener roast. There's also a pancake breakfast. There's free movies that day. Oh, the breakfast is sponsored by the Kinsmen. So there you go. They not only make breakfast, but they help pay for it as well. That's where your local dollars go, right back into the community. You can visit with Santa and the Grinch, and new this year, and Kim, are you paying attention to this? Because I know you're going to want to take part in this. There's a milk and cookie eating contest.
I am all over that.
Santa's milk and cookie eating contest could get you a $350 grocery gift card.
For more cookies.
Wouldn't that be great? Yeah. You get your Christmas meal done.
Oh, it'd be perfect.
There's also a $100 prize and a $50 prize. So you can find all the details for what is happening December 2nd in downtown Lloydminster in the Lloydminster Source, or you can follow the Here Comes Santa Claus Facebook page, and there'll be more details coming out on that Santa's milk and cookie eating contest as soon as well, how you can get entered. The 43rd annual Gift of Christmas is launched with toys being collected for those in need, and once again this year you can drop those off at many locations around the city. You can find the full list at realcountrylloydminster.com. Heather Clagus with Real Country told us that she's hoping families will continue to support the Gift of Christmas.
And I also know that in the past we've had people come in with a toy and it's kind of become a family tradition. They'll go out and they'll all pick out something together as a family to donate to the Gift of Christmas. And I think that that's really neat and a really nice tradition to have. So maybe it's something you would consider starting with your family this year.
And the PBR Winter Classic returns to Lloydminster at the exhibition here on Saturday night, 7 o'clock. Tickets on sale now. The Winter Classic sells out every year. If you haven't got your tickets to see the Cowboys and the Bulls, get those right away. There's also a Winter Classic Cabaret that features Bud's Busted 9-irons. For tickets, go to lloydx.com. And a couple of local organizations are holding online auctions right now. Labus has a Facebook group that you can join for their fall auction. And actually, their auction ends today at 3 o'clock. So you can bid on all kinds of great items like gift certificates to Polar Express and all kinds of fun stuff on there. There's tickets to the PBR. So, I mean, anything and everything is on that list. And meanwhile, the Libby Young Center, who provide help in the area of mental health in our city and surrounding area, they're holding an online auction at 32auctions.com. And that runs until Saturday, and it features everything from Oiler tickets to coffee. So there's an easy link to follow on the Libby Young Facebook page as well. Superior Water is proud to provide you with the purest drinking water possible. I drink it because I like the taste. I believe it is superior to anyone else's water. I think it's the best water in Lloydminster. And at just $3 a jug, you get a nice, consistent taste. And don't forget the ice for that Crown Royal. That's just $2 a bag. Salted caramel. They have 2 locations in Lloydminster. Visit them beside Sheepskin Loft on 57th Avenue. And if you need help with those big blue jugs, you won't have to ask. You can also visit them at their coin-operated location beside 7-Eleven on Highway 17 South and do it yourself. At Superior Water, water's what they do, and they do it well. All right, we're going to take a break. And we've been talking a lot about Christmas, and you'll want to get your New Year's Eve tickets before the gala sells out. Details on that with Kim Crockett from the Bea Fisher Foundation are next.
At Lloydminster and District Co-op, membership matters more. Because being part of a co-op means you're connected to something bigger than yourself. From long-held legacy by those who built our communities, to people you call family, friends, and neighbors. When you're a Lloyd Co-op member, you're an owner in a local business that prides itself on purpose alongside profit. You earn cash back, you help support causes that matter most, and you're building a better way of life for the next generation. Membership matters more.
I'm Brian Zinchuk of PipelineOnline.ca. I used to be a pipeliner, and I've spent the last 15 years reporting on energy in Saskatchewan. PipelineOnline.ca provides comprehensive coverage of light oil, heavy oil, lithium, helium, power production including coal, wind, solar, geothermal, natural gas, and nuclear. There's a lot happening in Saskatchewan's energy sector, and Pipeline Online is there for all of it. No one else comes even close.
Jason Arden and Associates Cooperators. We're proud to be a top-rated local insurance company that offers flexible solutions and expert advice for all your insurance and investment needs. We'll work with you to tailor your insurance specific to your needs, and we offer investment advice that always puts you first. At Cooperators, one of our core values is to support the communities we live in. When you support Jason Arden and Associates Cooperators, you are supporting local nonprofits and initiatives. Since 2020, we have donated $60,000 to local nonprofits, youth sponsorships, and various special projects. When was the last time your insurance company did that?
How can you help support the oil and gas industry and jobs in Western Canada? The answer is closer than you think. Sell your scrap metals to PWM Steel. PWM sells scrap iron to Evraz, located in Regina. Evraz's #1 customer is the energy sector, building pipes and plates for the oil and gas industry. PWM Steel is your locally owned metal recycler and steel service center in the area. Plus, they're a strong supporter of the community. PWM Steel, your top steel supplier for Alberta and Saskatchewan for 40 years.
At Diamond 7 Meats, we work with local farm families to provide a high-quality product and a great selection for you. Try our mouth-watering smokies, pulled pork, roast beef, and more, made pure and natural with no additives or fillers. We offer custom processing, and our experienced team works for you to provide a selection of sausage, burgers, and jerkies made to your specifications. Take your grilling to the next level with a Yoder smoker. Complete the grilling experience with a Canadian-made, award-winning line of House of Q barbecue sauces. We're locally owned and operated, and we look forward to seeing you today.
Welcome back to the Lloydminster Exhibition. I'm Kurt Price with the new Lloydminster Nissan. And Kim Crockett is our guest, and we're going to talk about New Year's Eve this year. I love how you guys posted it. Don't forget the date.
Yeah.
Nobody going to forget the date for New Year's, but it's the third year
Yes.
of a 3-year plan that you guys put in place. 2019 was fantastic.
Amazing start.
Yeah. Then the pandemic comes along.
Yeah.
Last year, what was the theme last year?
Last year was Mardi Gras.
And that was just a terrific
Oh, yeah.
event.
A lot of fun with that.
Yeah, we were there last year, and it was great. The band was just absolutely fantastic. And this year, your theme is?
It's Vegas. So for those that can't go to Vegas, we're bringing it to you.
Yeah.
That sounds rather cliche-like, but it is a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, it allows you guys to have some fun with that theme. I mean, there's a lot you can do with it.
Well, that's the thing. It's I think for the people that do the decorating, the design, everything like that, like everything goes. And so I'm really excited to see what they come up with today.
Let's talk about the entertainment. What do you
Yeah.
guys have planned this year for entertainment for the New Year's Eve Gala with Bea Fisher?
So the big feature part of it is always going to be the dance at the end. And again, speaking cliches, I hate seeing backed by popular demand, but we have had such a great time with Uptown Entertainment, band that we've brought in the last 2 years that we've done it. It truly, they are about the best fit that we can find for the sort of evening that we have. And so that's who's going to be back is Uptown Entertainment again, 8-piece band. There's a couple of lead singers on there, and man, can they belt it out. So that's what we got to look forward to for the entertainment. And Eccentricity, local group, they are going to be doing the dinner music tonight, or that evening as well. And they do just a fantastic job, just kind of setting a mood during the dinner time. And we're looking forward to having them back as well.
Yeah, they're definitely the highlights, like the two ladies.
Oh.
Boy, can they sing.
They can belt it out, yeah.
And a variety of music. Like,
Yeah, absolutely. And so we've already been thinking about what's the playlist going to be for them this year. And of course, we think there's got to be a little bit of Elvis in there somewhere. So we'll see how well they can do Elvis.
yeah. So how's the night start? Like, what time does everybody arrive? What gets going?
So New Year's Eve, it all begins about 6 o'clock that evening, and there will be a cocktail hour, just a chance for people just to mingle, just have some fun. We set the whole convention center up in a way that there's lots of space to just move around, mill about. There's not a pile of silent auction tables, anything like that you might find at other fundraisers, and not talking down on any of those. Those are all very purposeful. But for us, we're respectful that it's a fundraiser, but it's also people's New Year's Eve. And we want our guests to feel really comfortable that they're coming to just a really enjoyable evening. that's the sort of thing they would have wanted to go to regardless of a fundraiser or not. So that's what we look forward to. But yeah, cocktail hour starts off about 6 o'clock. We'll get into dinner around 7. Looks like it's going to be a steak and shrimp dinner is what we're looking forward to again. Hard to go wrong with that on any time of year, especially New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
There'll be a program afterwards for about an hour, and during that time period, we'll get a chance to provide some updates on what funding has accomplished from the previous galas, and just a chance to really give a thanks to our sponsors, and also a thanks just to the community as a whole, because so many people have come together to make a difference for Bea Fisher and the projects we've been working on. There'll be a live auction. We've got a few pretty fun items planned for that one. And then around 9 o'clock, the band strikes up and away we go. And of course, you can't have a Vegas-themed night without a trip to Vegas. So that'll be part of the raffles that night as well, as we're hoping to send a few people to Vegas by the end of that night.
Right. And the countdown begins when Uptown Funk takes the...
Absolutely. Yeah, they're an amazing group.
Takes the stage. Any specialty drinks or anything? I know last year you guys had some themes.
We had some themes, and yeah, it's interesting you asked that, Kurt. We were talking about that actually just earlier today, and we've kind of left it in the hands of Red Bicycle Communications to come up with some cool names to go with the evening. They did a great job last year with Mardi Gras, and I'm sure they're going to come up with some pretty good stuff this year as well.
Well, I think when you're talking about Vegas, isn't it just large drinks?
It might just be large, larger, and larger yet.
Yeah. It is such a huge fundraiser. I know you have 4 major sponsors, but we really want to thank those sponsors, because without them, you guys, wouldn't be able to raise, I think last year was $82,000.
It was right around that mark. And you're absolutely right. When, whether it be Bea Fisher or any organization that puts on these sorts of big events, you need those sponsors to step up and give you the seed money to get them off the ground. And so for Border City Concrete, Fortune Civil Construction, Redhead Equipment, and stepping up from gold all the way to a platinum sponsor, Rusway Construction. Those are our 4 platinum sponsors. They've been with us since the very first year, and they're the ones that gave us the seed money. And of course, we'd be remiss if we didn't mention the gold sponsors as well. So Aztec Safety, the Musgrave Group, and new this year, Synovus has stepped in. They've got a big project obviously on the go, but were able to help us as well. And so you get those 7 players behind us, and that's what gives us the seed money to put on an event like this.
Yeah.
And then we can go.
Yeah, it all builds up, of course, to the big bang at midnight.
Exactly.
And if you don't have your tickets yet, you should grab them.
Right.
Where can you get your tickets?
So tickets are available at our administration office. So street address 3514 51st Avenue. But the easy way to think of it, we're just pretty much kitty corner from the Co-op grocery store. And but that's where the tickets are purchased right there. We're at about probably close to 60% sold out already, with well over a month to go before sales end. So if anybody's thinking about it, they need a highlight for their New Year's Eve. That'd be the thing to do.
How much were tickets?
Tickets are $100 each, and you can buy an entire table for $800.
A nice round number.
Absolutely.
Yeah. When we talk about, I said $82,000 last year. First year, I think, was it even more?
It was just a little bit more, right around about the $85,000, $86,000 mark, and pretty close numbers again last year. And what we said right from the very get-go was our goal was to raise about $250,000 for improvements at our care homes. We operate a dozen care homes here in Lloydminster. These are staffed 24 hours a day, and just like you and I, we've got a home to go to at night. This is home for about 60 individuals that we provide care services to. This is the only home that they have. And so that was the intent of all of the funds we raised. It was to help make their homes even better. And it's really fun to be able to talk about the projects that we've been able to pull off.
What did you guys do?
So the big one right now, after last year's gala, was we had on mind, we had 4 kitchens that we needed to renovate. Some they really needed some repairs. Some just were never really well designed around the individuals that live there. And that's not no one dropped the ball. It's more just when we purchased the homes, we just took them over the way they were. And we're finally getting to a point where we've got the funds that we can properly set them up the way that they needed to be. And So yeah, as much as we love doing the projects, the biggest thing is the difference that it makes. And to see the staff, to see the individuals that live there, for them to function better, to get more involved in their own care, that's a big deal. That's what we've been able to witness just through the course of this. So we're just wrapping up these renovations right now, and it's thanks to the gala that we did last year that we've been able to pull this off. And that's the biggest part of this, is seeing the impact it makes on the individuals we provide care to.
How many houses?
A dozen, 12 houses that we provide support work in.
Do they have to move out while you do the renovation?
In this case, we were actually able not to do that. In each of the 4 kitchens, there were actually 2 duplexes. And so we would renovate, one half of the duplex at a time. And it worked out really well so that everyone was using the remaining kitchen, and when the work was done in one, you move over to the other side. And so pretty, as far as inconvenience goes, we kept it to a minimum.
So even though it's taken a while to get the 3 years in,
Yeah.
it sounds like this community has really stepped up for you guys.
Oh, well, they have since 1972, which is when we started to exist as an organization. And yeah, the community of Lloyd, they've always been fantastic about jumping on board, giving us a hand. And, funding for things like this is something we have to do on our own. There's no other source for funding these kind of projects except us to raise the funds ourselves and through events like this. But another big part, the way this community has continually stepped up, is providing employment placements for a number of the individuals that we provide care services to. So many they've got skills that maybe we don't necessarily recognize right away, but they have abilities that they deserve a place to be used as well. And it's really cool, Kurt. There's over 50 businesses here in Lloydminster that provide places where our individuals can get out and do some sort of meaningful work that's relevant to them, relevant to their skill set, and meaningful to the employer themselves. And that's as big a deal as the homes as big a deal to the homes and the projects we can do there.
Well, we all know the stress of being a homeowner. If something goes
yeah.
wrong, right? I talked about BioClean disaster services.
Oh, yeah.
off the top there. If something happens, there's a lot of stress. Has this really relieved a lot of stress for not only the clients, but Bea Fisher, just worried about these aging buildings?
It kind of gives you a fresh starting point, at least on a portion of the home. And you know that for the next while, this is not something that we'll necessarily have to deal with. They're in great shape, and it's cool because local businesses, tradespeople, they're the ones that are all involved in these projects as well. And so we trust the work that they do. And so we know that, there's going to be other projects that come up. After the first year, we had some roofs that needed reshingling. We wanted to put a deck on one of the homes just to make it more accessible for those, especially that have mobility issues. We did a landscaping project at another home that was just, I think some settling had gone over the years, and some water issues are starting to come up in a basement. And so we were able to take care of those kind of projects. And it's just great as we knock these things off. They just make the homes that much more livable. And for the individuals that live there, it just makes it much more a home for them. And they're not worried about having to move out temporarily, anything like that. And the issues that did exist, they don't exist anymore.
So you'd mentioned you're just finishing up some of those projects.
Yeah.
Is that where this year's funds are going, or do you have them earmarked for anything in particular too?
So the big ones on the list for next year, with the funds that we hope to raise from this year's gala, the big one is probably going to be flooring. Another area that just you can well imagine, especially where you've got mobility issues in homes where maybe wheelchairs are a common way for getting around the home. After time, it's a little harder on the floors than maybe just a little bit of foot traffic in a sock. Mm-hmm. And so that's going to be one of the big ones, is going to be flooring at a number of the homes going forward. Looking forward to getting that one done. It might not sound sexy and exciting, but it's important. And so we're looking forward to doing those.
Yeah. Anything I'm forgetting to ask about the gala, Kim?
Wow. Well,
I think we know the when.
The when, yeah. It's kind of hard to get around the New Year's Eve part.
Yeah.
I think the important thing that people know is, one, we're really grateful to this community for the way they jump in, at the individual level, at the businesses that jump out and help us out like this.
How about getting home?
Getting home. Oh, great question. Border City Connects. They've been with us since the very first gala as well. And so they're in charge of the Safe Ride Home. And so that's been just a mainstay since the very first one. Regardless of what time people want to leave, if they've got other commitments, they're just going to stay there for partway through the evening, or they want to be going home at 2:30 in the morning. There's going to be a safe ride home for people as well, and your vehicle will be safe there at the exhibition grounds. Come back the next morning, it'll be there.
That goes a long, long way.
It does. Yeah, it makes a big difference. No, I think we've covered an awful lot of good stuff, but all I can say is for anybody that's looking for a place to go on New Year's Eve, I think you'd be hard-pressed to find a better event to go to. And, if nothing else, look at the age range of those that come out. There's people in their early to mid-20s, there's people in their 70s, and they have all got a massive smile on their face. They're having such a great time. It's the place to be.
Well, I'll vouch for that. We went last year.
Yeah.
The food was fantastic. Mm-hmm. Prime rib.
Yep.
I think it was prime rib and
Yes, it was.
shrimp last year, too.
It was, yeah. And it's exhibition. I don't think they know how to put out a bad meal, so it's all going to be an amazing meal.
Yeah, it was a great time. We had a blast, and that's one thing that I remembered is how everybody at our table had a great time. We didn't have to worry about driving home.
Yeah,
like that came to mind right away.
Yeah,
it's just how pleasant the evening it was, and how great the music was.
Yes. Oh,
if you haven't been, go. Like you're gonna love it.
You got to go, and and if anybody wants to just have some memories at the end of it, well, we're always happy to have Jason Whiting coming out as well. So Jason's back as our photographer this year. I'm sure he'll have some special plans for the evening as well. But come back to our Facebook page after the event. He will always post just dozens of photos on there, and it's just a great reminder of a good evening.
Thanks, Kim. Appreciate it.
Thanks again so much.
Yeah, I'll vouch for that. It was a blast that night. So, New Year's Eve, the third and final year, Kim?
Well, we think it is, but I would never want to say with absolute certainty. But at this point in time, it is our final, but we'll just say final for now.
60% sold out. Get your tickets while you still can. And join us tomorrow. We'll be back here at the Lloydminster Exhibition. Vera Gallant and the Kiwanis Club of Lloydminster are going to join us. And we're going to talk about why they do the Festival of Lights. This is, I think, the 5th year that they've been doing this and how they continue to grow at their park. So we'll have the details on that tomorrow. And a little bit more coming your way from the Lloydminster Exhibition.